going to Canada to visit all our friends. We're crossing the border today to go to Canada. I'm not sure if they're gonna take our fruits and vegetables and things, or quite how all that works. We're gonna see how it works. We are visiting 3 different households, I guess you would say, while we're there, and then from there we're gonna decide if we keep going over the top, or if we go down through Michigan to see our friend Brett, and then maybe over the top of Michigan to go to Wisconsin. We don't quite know yet, but the plan is to go to Canada first. Emily and Clark's adventure.
Better over a fire.
The site that we stayed at the last 2 nights was really nice and convenient. It had a sink, it had running water, well-lit bathroom, so we didn't even use our toilet or our sink yet. Everything was really convenient, and it was free, which was super duper. And for the next few nights, we're probably going to be in people's driveways. So again, not super hardcore camping yet, but free is good. We like free. We're getting on the highway. This is the first time on the highway. Let's see how...
In 1,000 feet, merge onto I-86 West, New York 15 North.
Can we do it? Wasn't too bad, was it?
No, just got to figure out what our mileage is going to be. Is my big, because now we're going 65. Eventually, it'll be going like 75.
We got up to 14, I think, the other day. We're at 13.5 now.
Well, we were 13.6.
Okay. A lot of wind generators out in this part of the country.
Bigger than the one I built.
Yeah. A little bit. Although 8 feet is pretty big. We're almost to Canada.
In a quarter mile, continue straight. Welcome to Canada.
When in doubt, follow the other camper.
Yeah. I think that there they have to.
Yeah, there's a camper in the auto lane. Maybe we should follow that camper.
Yes, well,
Okay. Are you nervous?
not really. It's a very nice country.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Where do
Good
you
day.
folks, can I see your passports, please?
Absolutely. Are these okay, or do you want the paper
These are
ones?
good. Where do you folks live?
We live in New York State.
Okay, where are you headed?
Visiting some friends in a town that's just over the corner.
Okay.
What's the name of the town, Emily?
Mississauga or St. Catharines?
Oh, 2 days, 3 days? Nope,
Alcohol and tobacco?
none at all.
How about firearms or weapons?
None.
Do you have a license to take a truck?
I do not.
Oh, crap.
Is this your vehicle?
My father's.
Do you have it?
Absolutely.
You're also racing.
Thank you.
We're at his.
It's the nicest country in the world.
Just for personal, right? Just for personal.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Good job, say.
Thank you.
So we had a really smooth arrival into Canada, much easier than we could have imagined. We made a quick pit stop at Tim Hortons to get some Wi-Fi, and then moved on to see our friends.
The first person we meet up with is our friend Ian. We met him while sailing in the Bahamas. He's quite the musician.
Ian showed us around the local locks and canals.
Okay.
And of course, we had to stop for some real Canadian bacon. Say hi, Ian.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Up here, it's wine country. There are grapes everywhere along the roads. And there's a lot of bikers, too.
Well, this is pretty spectacular coming through here in the fall.
One thing that strikes me about Canada is I always think of it as this cold, sort of dreary place, but this time of year it's pretty green and people seem to be taking advantage of it. We see a lot of people outside, all the yards are really well kept, lots of biking, lots of hanging out in parks. It seems like a really pleasant place to live.
After a couple days with Ian, we're going to move on to see some other sailing friends.
Just a short drive and we meet up in Guelph with Gary and Ingrid.
They show us around their town and we do lots of walking. And just like in the sailing life, there's a lot of saying hi and goodbye to friends as you move along.
Bye! Our next stop is with one of my game design friends, Daryl. He's got a huge collection of board games and he's invited a bunch of friends over for a party to play some games and enjoy some food. We plan to spend a lot more time outdoors later on our trip, but having this many friends this close together is just an opportunity we can't pass up to hang out and do some indoor stuff.
So we've had a delightful week of friends, food, and sightseeing. Time to move back to the United States. I hope that the crossing goes as well as the one into Canada.
But first, another stop to Tim Hortons for some more Wi-Fi.
1,000 feet, continue straight to stay on Ambassador Bridge.
As we get close to the border, we can see this is not the welcoming Canadian customs we dealt with earlier. Well, that wasn't Canadian customs.
No, we didn't film because the vibe of it was not as easygoing as going to Canada, so we turned the cameras off. They asked us kind of the same questions that we did through Canada, and then he asked us if we had anything to declare, meats, citrus fruits. And we said, yeah, we do. We've got, this, that, and the other thing. And so he had to go back in the camper and...
Suddenly, at that point, we are like criminals. And stay in the cab.
Yeah,
Touching his gun a lot, showing off his power. And then he goes back on his own with our keys and does whatever he does back there.
Yeah, he didn't rough anything up too much, but he definitely opened up everything. And he threw out, we had uncooked chicken, some uncooked sausages. We had some stuff that he said would be okay, but we repackaged it to save room in the fridge, so there was no label on it, so we had to throw that out. Threw out our potatoes, our onions, our garlic. There's a lot of food stuff that went in the trash, which was unfortunate. And we kind of knew that coming in, and we grilled some of it up at Daryl's the other day.
Don't have a problem with what he threw away, but his attitude was horrible. Then he came back here and he started tearing into us about how we could go to jail and we could have $500 fine per food item, $300 per food item for not declaring it. It's like, dude, you went back there because I declared it. I did everything right, and he treated me like scum. And I really appreciate the Canadian customs.
It was very different.
Yes.
One way versus the other way. And when we pulled up, I took a little bit of footage. There were just all these people that were all swatted up, opening things and closing things and walking around with their sunglasses, and it's just very different.
It's pathetic.
Anyway,
it's pathetic that we have this. It's like we want to be a police state. I don't know. There's just no need for it. Anyway, it's done, and food is no big deal. We'll just buy more because we're not out cruising. There's stores everywhere.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was a very different experience.
Mm-hmm. The trip we took through Canada actually involved a lot of city driving, and that was tiring, watching for things happening around you. It also really screwed with our fuel mileage. We're back on the highway for easy, long stretches now, and hopefully things will be better.
We get to Ohio and meet up with my friend John, who is also a game designer. It turns out he can help us with manufacturing cases for Clark's Bank Manager Plus units, too. We enjoyed hanging out with him and his partner Tara to play some board games, eat some dinner, and rest up for the night.
Today we're off for Wisconsin. We're going to go up to the Green Bay area and visit with Emily's family.
We were going to meet up with our friend and my former roommate Brett in Battle Creek, Michigan, but it turns out his power was out, so conveniently he drove down to Indiana and we stopped and met him along the way.
The drive from Ohio to Green Bay was long, but we had a very warm welcome upon arrival. I've been eager to get here and finish the solar installation on the camper. I'm also working with Emily's dad, Mark, on building a test harness so we can test the Bank Manager Plus.
It'll be great to spend a few days here with my family and to brush up on my bowling skills.
We'll be making several stops in Wisconsin. Emily has family all over the state, and there's a lot to see here. Then we'll be making our way west and get out to the mountains.
So stay tuned for our upcoming adventures.
We don't have many things, but we have enough to live this life together. A life full of adventure. Emily and Clark's adventure.